CloudFront for my personal blog. I think I spend something like 6 cents of a dollar a month because I have like, a few hundred visitors a day, which means a few thousands a month. You can use this without commitments. From S3, you put a file or a bunch of files into S3, you create a distribution with a single API call. In a few minutes, that distribution will be available. And when you use that URL to provide that content, the content delivery platform will take care of delivering the content from the closest edge location. In a few minutes, a single guy with a credit card and a laptop in front of him can have a CDN at his disposal. This is change. SimpleDB. This is something really interesting. SimpleDB is a database, but it's not a relational database. If I ask you, name me a database, all of you will start with a relational database because everyone is fond of relational databases. MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL Server, DB2. These are all databases. And by the way, you can run all of them on Amazon EC2 if you want to. But database is a word that includes a lot of things, not just relational databases. Key value databases, such as SimpleDB. What's the point of having a key value database? The point is, if you don't need relations, and for example, logging doesn't need relations, or Amazon.com, in most cases, needs a key value databases. Roughly 20% of everything is done for Amazon.com is on SimpleDB. So when you think, who is using this? Amazon.com. Who is using S3, EC2? Amazon.com. So we have a bunch of big enterprise customers, but we also have our own big mother, Amazon.com, that is using this. So SimpleDB, compared to a relational database, when you want to scale a key value database, so a large table of values, it is much faster, much cheaper, much more reliable. And in fact, SimpleDB scales by itself. You don't have to scale it. We do it for you. You still need a relational database, but you don't want to run it. RDS, Relational Database Service. RDS provides a MySQL 5.1 database that we manage. You don't have to care about security, about bug fixes, about indexing, about performance tuning, about performance optimization. You don't have to worry about this. Because if you just need a database for your business should not be hiring a DBA just for a few machines. You use Amazon RDS. And RDS provides you all the functionalities of a MySQL 5.1 database. Then you just change your connection string and you're there. And of course there are other services, but I don't have time to cover them today. But my suggestion is, look at this. This is something revolutionary. We are providing basic building blocks that allow people to create a huge infrastructure from their laptops with a credit card. This is something that couldn't exist a few years ago. What are these? Tools, right? You have tools now. These tools are in your hand. You can use these tools to create something powerful. You can create a Ferrari with these tools. This is what Amazon is all about. Amazon Web Services is all about. So, to be honest, to cloud or not to cloud, like Shakespeare, to cloud or not to cloud, there are some situations in which adopting the cloud might be difficult, and I want to be honest and show you when. Let's say you have a legacy software, and you can't move that software into the cloud. You're stuck. If you can't move that into the cloud, you can't use that software into the cloud. So you have to keep your old machines and old services for that specific situation. Maybe you already made IT investments. Who here is working in IT? Raise your hand. Who works in IT? Most people here. So if you are in charge of deciding the IT investment of your company, and if 3 months ago you just purchased a data center, you spent $500,000 for new machines and new servers, and now today you go to your boss and say, boss, you know what? I just discovered cloud computing. Let's use it and forget about that €500,000 we spent last, few months ago. You will be fired tomorrow, right? So if you already made an IT investment, you have to take care of that. You can't just move everything right away to the cloud because you have these machines waiting for you. Use them and plan for the cloud in the next few years. Maybe there is human friction. Most people in IT are afraid that with cloud computing they're going to lose control. They think, well, cloud computing is so easy and so nice that I will not be indispensable anymore. They think they will lose their jobs. Wrong. What is the value of a person that brings cloud computing into a company? When the company then discovers that with cloud computing they can save money, reduce their time to market, and be more competitive. You are adding value to your company. Your boss will love you because you don't have to have large investments. You're not going to go there and say, I need €500,000 today. You say, you know what, we just pay month by month what we need, and we will use resources more efficiently. You will not lose your job. You will be rewarded for that. So human friction is a temple problem between our temples. It's a psychological problem. It's not a real problem. What about security? Cloud computing means using external resources. This is the only cloud computing we can think of. Because for us, cloud computing means using resources more efficiently and tapping into large-scale data centers. We don't care what other people say about cloud computing. For us, cloud computing is business sense, which means you are going to use external data centers. And most people say, I don't trust it. If it's not here, if I can't power off that machine, I don't trust it. Again, a temple problem, psychological problem. What's the security level of your machine in your office? For example, do you have a military-grade perimeter around your office? Do you have cameras? Do you have guards around your office? Raise your hand if you do. Raise your hand. You do. One here. You don't. You don't. Amazon does. So physical security for Amazon is much more powerful than your security. Network security. What happens if you are, attacked? DDoS, distributed denial of service. What's your bandwidth in your office? 10 megabits? 100 megabits per second? DDoS will kill you. Amazon has multiple tier 1 bandwidth providers. Each line is more, few gigabits per second line in each data center. And we have multiple data centers worldwide. Talk about DDoS. We know how to mitigate that. What about IP spoofing? What happens if someone tries to spoof your IP packets? You can't do that on Amazon Web Services. So let's think again about security. Are you sure that your security is at this level? I bet not. And in fact, we have security certifications. External auditors, external companies that visit our